Hey guys, I realized that after was my mic working? Yeah, I realized after I made that last video, it was nighttime. The moon was shining. The I had a better camera on me. It plugs into my laptop. I was using my laptop camera, and I had a 4K camera on me. What do you need to do, right? Can't fix stupid, or at least I should have checked. Right? I had my bag with me. Whatever. So I don't know if you guys are golf fans or not, but Rory McIlroy today joined 6 other people in golf history to be the only ones to ever win all 4 majors. Might not sound like a big deal, but there's a lot of people that play golf, and a major tournament means all the best players show up. That's why it's such an elite club of people that do that. And he hadn't won a major in 11 years, I think. Long time. And people started to wonder, he blew out of the gates, just winning a bunch of stuff, winning majors, and then he hadn't won one for years. And, all of that happens inside. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of how that game ended today. If you have time, even if you're not a golf fan, just review the last couple of holes in that tournament. Golf is a game where you're always the only person, and it's increasingly obvious. A lot of people think that they're playing other people, but you're not. You're never playing anybody but yourself when you're playing golf. And that goes with all the players. Jack would always talk about, or Jack Nicklaus would always talk about the fact that he would just be steady Eddie. And on Sunday, he'd just keep playing his game, and most people bow under the pressure of being the last day of the week, or the last day of the tournament. For those of you who aren't aware, all PGA tournaments or all golf tournaments are Thursday through Sunday, and so you play 18 holes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you make the cut. The field gets cut in half on Friday, and so there's only half the players left on Saturday, Sunday. And so the Masters was this weekend, the first major this year, and Rory finally won it. He hadn't won the Masters. He'd won the U.S. Open, the British Open, and the PGA Championship. Never won a Masters. There's quite a few people on that list that have won 3 out of 4. Jordan Spieth, I think, is on that list. The only other ones to do it were Tiger, Jack. Even Arnold Palmer didn't win all 4 majors. Ben Hogan, I just looked it up. Who is the other guy? It doesn't matter. So there was only 5 before today, and now there is 6. Rory McIlroy. Congratulations, Rory. I'll drink some cranberry, juice to celebrate your victory. But you can see Rory's a great guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he tries to keep it under control, and he tried to throw it away today. He was a stroke ahead going into the 18th hole, and Justin Rose, who still doesn't have a green jacket, he's 45 years old, so he's 10 years older than Rory. Justin Rose finished at 11 under par, so he was only 1 stroke behind. And if Rory finished the 17th, birdied it, so he was 12 under. So he had a 1 stroke lead going into the 18th, and then he bogeyed the 18th. He hit his second shot into a sand trap, and then he hit a pretty decent sand trap shot, but then he missed his up and down. He missed his putt and ended up bogeying the 18th to force a playoff. And then him and Justin Rose, in the Masters, you play sudden death, and you play the 18th hole. So you keep playing the 18th hole over and over and over until one of you beats the other, right? One of you, if you keep tying the score, even if you both bogey, you got to replay the hole. And it just so happens that Rory birdied the 18th on the playoff, and Justin Rose parred it. They both hit great shots, but Rory had a better shot going into the green, and he parked the ball within 10 feet of the hole and made his putt to win. But you could see it on his face, right? You're trying to manage your emotional states, not to try and, because if you, and there's a part of you, I talk about this on my channel. Really, to bend reality, you have to believe that you've already done it. My brother and I were sitting together watching it, and we were recalling, or Ken was recalling, it was a U.S. Open championship where, the guy with the odd swing, what was his name? He has the record lowest score in golf. I'll remember his name here before too long. Turned his hat on backwards for his last putt, and all he had to do was make it, and he made it. Basically, kind of a psychological trick where you're just like, all right, I'm doing this. Threw his head on backwards, and he just threw it in the hole. And it was, right? But you could see, when Rory was playing today, you could see his battling himself internally, right? You got to believe that you can do it. But he kept going, right? He kept believing that he could get this thing done. And even though he kind of almost sabotaged himself so many times, and he sabotaged himself really bad in a tournament last year, and he had to take himself out for a couple of weeks. Really an amazing story about how, you can get to a place where you understand that your own belief and what you can do can bend reality. I used to love watching Jordan Spieth because he went through 2 years where he won 3 out of the 4 majors, and then he just kind of dropped off the map. And it seemed like he kind of let a little bit to the exterior of what, of the benefits of winning these big tournaments kind of get to your head, right? Instead of the joy of the game, I guess you could say, and mastering your own reality. Putting is one of those things that really shows up when you're mastering your own reality, because you have to believe you can make the putt. The odds that you're going to make an 80-foot putt through like a double rolling green are almost nil, right? It's like the percentage of people that make that putt is like of times that you could putt it. You got to hit that putt probably 100 times. And the only reason you make it the 50th time is because you've tried 49 times. You've seen what doesn't work. If you go back and watch Jordan Spieth's Open Championship win, when he won the British Open, he hit like 2 or 3 amazingly difficult putts. And at the time, there was nobody that was even coming close to making putts like that. I mean, exactly what I said. It was like an 83 triple break putt, like on the 16th green or something, or 15th green, to get within striking distance to win. And he, in that last stretch, he won on the final day of that tournament. It was an amazing day to watch. It's worth watching if you guys have never watched it, or if you don't. It's hard to really grasp on how difficult that is, even for somebody that putts 1,000 times a day. It's not something that you can just go out there and do without believing you can do it. And so your emotions are your own disbelief will be your enemy, and it will create an emotional state that pulls you out of the present moment and gets you out of letting go. Because you really have to let go and just let it happen. See the outcome that you want and let go. This happens with healing services, right? And that's why people that have really learned the most powerful, mastered the healing arts have done that. You just let go. Let it take a control. Set the intent and see the outcome and feel the emotion and speak it into existence. Boom. The struggle, and this is the negative aspect of golf or competitive sports, basically, is when you feel like you're controlling your reality and you're you let your ego take over, and then it will destroy you if you do that, right? And today, I think, was one of the greatest examples of somebody whose ego has been beaten down over and over and over, and just kept going and going, regardless of, and he knew he just had to just keep going, right? And eventually he could do it. And you could see when he finally made that putt today, he just broke down, started crying. He was upset, excited, elated, all at the same time. It's like all those emotions that he'd been bottling up, trying to focus in the moment, and not think about whether or not he could or couldn't do it, because you train your mind in a certain way, and there are methods to the madness, but you have to understand that everybody has that ability. If it becomes something where I can do this and you can't, then you're ignoring the power of the human potential and teaching people how to do what you can do. Right? Because there's nothing that we all want at a deepest level than to see each other be successful, right? To achieve things like what Rory did today. It was such a beautiful, I was so happy to see him finally do it. And Justin Rose, even though he lost, we went up to him and you could tell that he was genuinely happy for him. It was just like, and Justin hasn't gotten, he lost a playoff to Sergio Garcia a few years back when Sergio won the green jacket, and he had a chance again today, but he lost to Rory. But, that's the way you want to lose, right? You want to lose to somebody that it means that much to them, And Rory is a deserving, definitely. I mean, the last time when he won the Players, he donated all that money to charity, because Players is another big tournament this year that generally is considered a major, because all the big guys come out for the Players, and it's played in the TPC Sawgrass, so it's played in the same place every year. And amazing tournament. That floating green on the 16th hole, floating green is pretty. I would love to play that hole. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Believe whatever it is that you want to do, or what you believe you can do. Believe you can do it. Set the intent, and you'll go through every emotional state you can imagine. Just keep your intent. Say, this is the direction I'm going, and this is what I believe we can do for one another. We don't need to live in a world where there's sickness and death. But at the same time, because the power of the heart, is infinite. It's where everything comes from and goes back to. And so faith is the bridge to accessing unconditional love in the human heart. Because the only reason that anybody ever goes through pain, or anybody causes pain on someone else, is because of unbelief and not understanding their own heart. Right? Love you guys. I just wanted to share this with you, and wish you a happy Sunday. I gotta finish my Sunday. I spent some time with family, of course, watching the Masters. Yeah, love you guys. Have a great day.